G'day guys, and welcome back, and today we're looking at artificial light and non-native EMFs. And as you can see, I'm back with the hot to burn top class graphic artist skills. So where to start on this long subject? First place to start is what we're designed for. We were designed to be under the sun's frequencies, like you learned last week in the video series and the attachment on the sun and how it works and what to do. But in the mid 1800s, Thomas Edison and a few other gentlemen like Nikola Tesla put together the electric light bulb. And the electric light bulb has affected the way we live on so many different fronts. It's allowed for things like work at night, travel, shift work. The list is endless. What having the ability to short circuit that process of night and day. Now, our evolutionary biology is billions of years old, and that's what we're designed around, those old patterns of night and day, the circadian rhythms. So when we introduced the artificial light, and it's not just visible light we're talking about. Visible light's just one spectrum that the human eye can see, from a 250 to 780 nanometers approximately. The sun's band is from 100 nanometers to 3100 nanometers. So if you're under artificial light day in and day out, regardless of whether it's incandescent bulbs, LEDs, fluoros, you're in artificial light and not getting the full spectrum. So your mitochondria are sensing an artificial environment which does things to how they work. One of the things, and you'll see it in the attachment that I'll put together explaining how to mitigate the light and what to do, is that artificial light has big spikes of blue light, and blue light, and it's often not offset by enough red light, whereas in the sunlight it's always 42% infrared A light. So, and that's really key to what artificial light is and it's about, because those light signals that come from our devices, which predominantly blue light, LEDs, blue and green spectrum with a little bit of red light, incandescent bulbs were not as bad because they had red light in them. Now red light is not energy efficient to make. So when you take the red light out of it, you make more energy efficient bulbs by using blue and green light predominantly. So that's how we got energy and efficient bulbs. And over the last 20 odd years, we've gone away from using incandescent bulbs to LEDs and halogen lights and LEDs, halogens, and curly bulbs. So the blue light tells your body it's lunchtime all the time. It's at about 5700 kelvins, and during the course of the day, naturally the light goes from 0 up to 14 to 18,000 depending on kelvins, and that's the temperature of light, and then it snaps off at the end of the day. Now all those things drive different parts of your biology. So again, we're disrupting that night and day cycle, which disrupts your melatonin cycle. And when you disrupt your melatonin cycle, if you don't have enough melatonin running around, it's not that you're only struggling to go to sleep at night. And if you are struggling to go to sleep, you probably pick up a device and look at that, and you tell your body it's lunchtime again. So you keep destroying that circadian rhythm, and it's not until you get exhausted do you fall asleep, and then you don't have great sleep. But when you're not producing enough melatonin, melatonin is the master driver of apoptosis, autophagy, and mitophagy, which is programmed cell suicide, which is cell recycling, and mitochondrial recycling. And if that doesn't take place, you don't clean up defective cells. You don't clean up defective cells night after night after night, you get sick. And to me, it's no surprise as to why we have epidemic amounts of sickness. More and more and more of us are spending more time inside. You know, kids are on tablets, they're on phones, they're on TVs, they're under cruddy light, and it's really starting to come through now that we've had 20 years of energy efficient bulbs. You know, it wasn't as bad. The other part of the deal is non-native EMFs, so electromagnetic frequencies. Light at the end of the day is just a wave. So when I say 100 nanometers to 3100 nanometers, we're just talking about the lengths of the light waves and what they do. So the kids today aren't getting enough skin in the game. They're not getting enough natural light. You know, we adults are not doing it either. Like today, I'm looking a bit red. I've had 6 hours in the sun to give you an idea, and I'm a red-headed kid, so you know technically I shouldn't be in the sun. But I've learned over the last 3 years just how important and crucial it is to health. You know, without getting the sun right and the cruddy light right, forget about your forget about the gym, forget about your diet. They are incremental things if you don't have your circadian rhythms and your lights and your light hygiene sorted out. And it's not, when we think about light, it's not just that spectrum, like I said, that we can see. It's also the spectrums outside of it. So, you know, the spectrum of light, which is electricity, you know, 240 volts or 50 or 60 hertz, depending on where you live, or 110 volts if you're in North America. But that disrupts our biology. It disrupts our mitochondria. Wi-Fi, you know, Toxicology 101 says that it's dose, toxin times dose equals the outcome, equals the carcinogenic value. So, you know, to give you an idea, Bluetooth and a microwave are exactly the same things. They run at about 2.4 to 2.45 gigahertz. The power in a microwave is much more. But if you've got a cell phone or a Bluetooth device in your head, guess what? You're microwaving the side of your head. And if you've got that in there all day, dose times toxin, toxins times dose equals your outcome. You know, you might be better off having your head in a microwave, as stupid as that seems, for a minute and a half. You might do yourself less damage. And that's probably a bit of an extreme version of it. But anything that's made outside nature by man-made is disruptive to us. So what's the best way to mitigate non-native EMF and poor light? Well, from when the sun comes up to when the sun goes down, I wear glasses when I'm inside, and I'll show you some of those glasses. I'll add it to this clip. But I have day blue blockers. So when I'm in, you know, if I'm in a shopping centre or something like that, I have some glasses that knock out 59% of the blue light. If I'm up before the sun comes up, then I've got blue blockers on. I've got the 400 to 550 nanometer blocking lights, glasses on. And from the minute the sun goes down, exactly the same deal. Now, We also have photoreceptors in our skin. So try to cover your skin up at night. This is the reason you should jump on eBay. If you're serious, jump on eBay and buy yourself a burqa. You know, they're about 12 or 14 bucks. I haven't done it, but I'm going to. You know, and look, if I had a serious illness at night, I'd be under a burqa. I'd be hiding the photoreceptors in my skin. So what happens when this blue light from devices gets into our eyes and in our skin? What it does is we have these photoreceptors called melanopsin, and they're in our skin, they're in our eyes, and they're in our gut. And the blue light, what it does is it detaches the in the melanopsin, there's retinol or vitamin A bound to them, and it detaches the vitamin A from those photoreceptors and destroys the photoreceptors, and you become blue light toxic or vitamin A toxic, because there's all this unbound vitamin A running around your system, which starts the process of all those degenerative diseases, cancer, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, you know, autoimmune diseases. You know, they're all from their base lies way back in light. It's not about the food, it's about the light, you know, and it's really important that you mitigate it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of the devices and some of the things that I have in my home to mitigate the light. You know, I'm very strict about it. When the sun goes down, it's game over for me. I've got blue blocking glasses on, and it's a non-negotiable. What other things do I do at night? In our home, we use candles. We use a special kind of bulb. We have red incandescent bulbs. You get 10 of them on eBay for 39 bucks. They're cheap as chips. But you will notice just by wearing the right glasses at the right time, and if you've got prescription lenses, you can get glasses that have, you know, that are made for prescription lenses as well. I'd also suggest, if you're a contacts wearer, you go back to wearing glasses, because contacts shade the whole eye, and when you're wearing glasses, when you walk outside, you can flip the glasses up, and it also lets light into the side of your eye. So a way healthier option is that. For people that are using Wi-Fi, you know, in our home we have everything hardwired, so there is no Wi-Fi signals in our home. We run cables across the floor from some rooms, you know, because we're serious about our health in this house. Yeah, we never have devices on our being, you know. If you're one of those people that wears devices in your pocket, you're speeding up the gene clocks in your. So you have your mitochondria get signals from light through your eyes and skin, like I said, the photoreceptors, and these drive every cell in your body. It's called the SCN, or the supracosmatic nucleus, and it works on light frequencies and feedback through the eyes predominantly. It's linked straight back through the retina to the eyes, and the photoreceptors in your skin called melanopsin to tell you what time of day it is, and to drive your biology. Now these clocks, every cell in your body has these little clocks, and so the supracosmatic nucleus runs a split second faster in front of all those cells. Every cell in your body has these little clocks called peripheral gene clocks, and that's how the symphony of you works, by the supracosmatic nucleus telling it, you know, what's going on through the environment. Now, you destroy those peripheral gene clocks when you wear a device on your body. Like if you've got something in your pocket, you know, I see lots of young ladies with phones in their back pocket, you know, put it on flight mode. There's still antennas in it that'll work on flight mode these days. I highly recommend that you do not wear that sort of equipment on your body. If you are talking on a phone, don't hold the phone against your head. Either put it on speakerphone or get yourself some ear tubes, and they're headphones that have the tube. They have little speakers, then a tube that runs up to your head, so it's not pumping stuff straight into your head. Earbuds are an absolute no-no. They're two microwave devices going off between your head. Don't do it to yourself. You know, Fitbit, iWatches, anything that transmits something. Aura rings, I wouldn't wear an Aura ring. Anything that has transmitting capability or device, don't wear it on your being. You know, you're speeding up those gene clocks, and so to give you an idea, fertility issues. If you're gonna wear, put your phone in your pocket and leave it on, you could end up with fertility issues. You know, there's a biohacker out there called Dave Asprey. A lot of the stuff that he teaches is complete nonsense. However, he had a bone density test done on his hip bone on his hip bones, and the bone density on the left-hand side where he had his phone, where he keeps his phone, he had 7% less bone density than on the other side. It's just not worth it. You're destroying sperm, eggs, the whole deal. And you're speeding up the gene clock. So you might only be 30 years old. However, because you've been 15 years with a phone in your pocket, you are now the best friend of a fertility clinic. And let me tip you, from experience, it's expensive. I know. So what I'm going to stop the video now, and then I'm going to show you some, I'll show you some other bits and pieces that I use to mitigate cruddy light. The other thing, no, I'm not going to stop the video now, I'm going to keep going. The other thing that I've got that I'll show you in this video is a little meter. I highly recommend that you get one of these little meters. It's the best that I've found out there so far. They're $250 or something. You get 10% off with a little code, but they measure RF and the frequencies. They measure the frequencies for cell phone, Wi-Fi, electricity. So all the radiation you need to. It gives you a great little overview of what you need to do and where you need to go. The other thing that you need to know is that there's something called the inverse square law. Now, the inverse square law says the further you are away from something, the less harm it does. So if something's 5 millimeters away, having it 10 away will be more than double the effect. So, you might be 3 times or 5 times better off by having something 10 millimeters away from you. So that's the inverse square law, which really means, the further you are away, the better off you are. But that works really well for a lot of things. If you are in a home with a Wi-Fi and for whatever reason you can't give up the addiction, turn your Wi-Fi off at night. In fact, try this. Turn the breaker off. Turn your mains power off at night for 7 days and see how much better you sleep without the field of electricity around the house. I guarantee you it'll be different. Anyway, I've given you tons of info today. I'm going to keep shooting some more videos to show you how we have it in our home, the different bits and pieces. And then there'll be the sheet of what to get, where to get, the blue light screens. I'll do another little video on how to disable a lot of the bad light in your phone. Anyway, have a great day, guys. I look forward to seeing you on the calls next week. Questions, just fire them up on Facebook and we will talk shortly. Chat to you soon. Ciao, ciao, bye.